It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
This next one is this is from a friend of the show, Brian. This is from Dax.
Okay.
And this is what Dax said. Employee stock plan. Is there an optimal way to sell the RSUs once they vest? Here are the assumptions. Multiple vesting windows, all steps of financial order of operations followed, 38% savings rate without match, healthy base income. So Dax sounds like he's doing all the things he's supposed to. He's saying, is there really an optimal way that I should think about selling RSUs? Well, first, I think you need to know the unique thing about restricted stock units. So for those of you who don't know, a lot of folks who work for publicly traded companies, part of their compensation gets paid in terms of employer incentives, where they might say, hey, I'm going to give you a certain number of shares of stock as part of your compensation, but you're not going to get it today. Instead, we're going to have it vest over the next 3 years, a third, or whatever the case may be. Well, what's great is when that happens, when you get that grant, there's no taxability. There's nothing, it doesn't actually cost you money in taxes. What does happen is on the day that those RSUs vest, that's when the taxable event happens. So if the stock ends up going up in value, it's great. You'll have more value when it vests. But when it vests, you have to pay income tax on that, or oftentimes there's some sort of automatic structure where the shares are withheld. Well, the beautiful thing about that being the taxation event day is that if you were to make the decision to immediately sell those RSUs at that point, there are no additional tax consequences. So when you're talking about optimization from divesting your exposure to your employer, the best day most often to sell RSUs is the day that it vests because there are no additional tax consequences. If then you opt to hold the RSUs and not sell them, if you sell them at any point in time in the first year after they vest, you're going to pay ordinary income tax on any gains that you've made. If you wait till after a year, you're going to pay long-term capital gains rates. Now, if you have a lot of RSUs outstanding, or maybe you have options, or maybe you have ESPPs, and it turns out that you have a lot of exposure to your employer, you have a lot of concentrated stock exposure there, and we say a lot is more than 5 to 10% of your total portfolio, it may be a great strategy not only to sell on the day those RSUs vest because you minimize your tax consequences, but also because you begin to decrease the exposure and you start to get off of that incentive treadmill with your current employer.
Dax, I'll tell you, this is one of those things I think that makes us unique in the financial planning community is we actually work with clients in all kind of fields. I mean, biotech, technology, a lot of places that are dealing with these type of decisions. And we can give you general advice like Bo did, sure, but it's just that. It's general. It's not customized to you. And these situations are complex. There's lots of things going on. No two people are the same with their different financial life experiences and where their goals are and what will actually reach success. So this is one of those things where maybe the relationship needs to graduate to the next level. And that's why, this is part of the abundance cycles. We give you tons of free advice, love on you so you can learn, apply, grow. But there will come a time where you'll get to complexity that you'll want to have a co-pilot. And that's what we're hoping the abundance cycle, you'll pay it forward and consider, taking the relationship to the next level and hiring a financial advisor.